All right. Welcome to another episode of Connecting Politics. We're here with a special guest. Please introduce yourself by telling us your name, where you're currently located, and your favorite snack.
Wow, I didn't know I was a special guest, but I'll take that. My name is
Always.
Jide Awe. I'm located here in Washington, D.C. My favorite snack, I would have to say oatmeal cream pies, Little Debbie.
Nice.
That's a
Take
classic
it
right
back.
there.
Indeed, indeed. What would you say is your fondest memory from childhood?
Fondest memory from childhood. Fondest memory from childhood would be Sundays after church. Sundays after church was when we had a chance to go play with our friends. After church, go over there. Sometimes sleep over. It was if the next day was a holiday. Um, I that was from what I could recall. That was like my my most blissful moments where it was just so carefree. It was like pure joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys do? Like roll bikes, play games, you
What
know?
didn't we do? So I think back then was Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So we get on the sticks. We were all of us were big WrestleMania fans, like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. So we would have WrestleMania fights. We would also watch it. One of our homeboys, his father had the scrambler. So the
Mhm.
scrambler is like a box you connect it to your cable. You have all the channels. So you always go to this because it was on pay-per-view. So we go to his house to watch that. Um, and then sometimes depending on who was dating who, we get a chance to kind of crush on our what we call our girlfriends or whatever. We'd finagle a way to get all of us together. So yeah, man, it was just a
Uh,
collection of all those things.
nice, nice. How do you think your childhood helped groom you into the person you are today?
So in hindsight, um, and having done that reflection before, um, I've realized my childhood has had a bigger impact than expected. So when I was young, my father passed when I was 8. So when that happened, I started to view the world in a totally different lens, where you know I kind of had to step into his shoes, where I was the man, quote unquote, the man of the house. So mm, I realized how my ambitions changed, because I what I all I wanted to do was take care of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it it created a hunger and just a very ambitious spirit to not only be able to provide for her, but provide for my 3 sisters. And essentially, be what I thought my dad would be if he was around. So in looking back and seeing who I am now, I still have that same type of passion, drive, and fire, to where being a provider is, very important to me. And for better or for worse, that's kind of, how just that one piece has shaped me. There's other aspects to me, but if I was to pick one thing, that'd be it.
Excellent. What's something in your life that you're not willing to live without?
Basketball. Oh my God, I love basketball, man. I can't live without basketball. um, if I could leverage or use that as an answer, um, or are you looking for something a little bit more closer to home?
No, no, no. Anything. I mean, if you feel like you could live without basketball, then it's
Yeah, yeah,
basketball.
yeah. So I'm gonna stick to the answer because growing up again, see how it ties back to my father. Not having him around, basketball was my sanctuary back then. Where you know, um, I just it's basketball presented an opportunity for you to forget all your worries, all your you're not thinking about all your problems, and you know, essentially it was very therapeutic. So, in having that back then, that has stayed with me since then. I started playing, organized basketball in middle school, high school, played intramural sports in college. I played in men's leagues, as an adult. And when I'm not playing it, I'm watching it, I'm reading about it, I'm debating about it. So yeah, that's a big part of my life. Something that I would definitely couldn't live without.
Basketball. And so, who's your favorite basketball player?
Kobe the Bean Bryant is my favorite basketball player. I'm not going to say he's the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. Jordan is the GOAT, hands down. But he's my favorite because I grew up with Kobe. From the moment he entered the league out of high school to the moment he retired, I was there the entire time. I can't say that about Jordan, but I can say that about Kobe, and he's up there in my life, man.
Gotcha. What are your favorite things to do for self-care?
Favorite things to do for self-care. Self-care, I'd say alone time. Once the family's asleep, the wife, the kids are asleep, just having time where the house is quiet and I could just kind of think, have my time to, do my own thing, but be it read, watch my shows, catch up with my homeboys or whatever. That's the best self-care right now because it's just a form of a stress reliever from, dealing with work and dealing with, family and stuff like that. So if I don't have that time, I'm cranky, I'm moody and all that.
Yeah. What motivates or excites you?
What motivates or excites me? Money. Money is a huge motivator. It excites me. But it excites me. It excites me in a way because it helps me to, or gives me the ability to fulfill my desires, my happiness. It's a conduit to that. Be it, taking care of my family, be it creating new experiences and memories, be it give me the opportunity to give to others less fortunate, to give to causes. I'd say money is up there.
So, money is the main motivator and exciter for you.
Yeah, because it just allows me to facilitate a lot of things, especially to my quality of life.
Yeah. As you're saying this, the first thing that comes to mind is the scene in Belly when Nas and DMX are arguing back and forth about dough, about money.
Yeah.
And DMX talking about, we gotta get this money, we gotta get this money.
So to that point, but this is one of my favorite scenes. It's Paid in Full.
Okay.
When Ace Boogie and Cameron all them like, yo, you gotta get this money, man. You gotta go to DC. Like they were just trying to take over everything. So this is one of my favorite movies, by the way. But yeah.
Gotcha. What do you do in your professional life, and how did you get to where you are?
Professionally, I am a management consultant. I got here through an undergraduate degree in computer science. So from there, I became a business analyst, moved into a project manager. Now I'm a management consultant. My entire career been surrounded around IT. So essentially, as a management consultant, I come in and help business solve problems using IT.
What would you say is the riskiest thing you've ever done in your professional life?
The riskiest thing I've ever done is probably, I think, the latest move that I just made. So I was working for IBM, which is, one of the top IT companies in the world. And now I'm working for a small business. It's like for lack of a better word, it's a startup, where you're more than just a number. You're actually someone that has to wear many hats, and you're responsible for a lot. And there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of your projects, and um, the there's uncertainty in terms of the stability of the company, and your employment. So I'd say doing that has been a riskiest move.
What would you say is one thing that you would love to learn but you haven't gotten to yet?
Yeah, I love the drums, man. I've always wanted to play the drums since I was a kid. I'm a huge fan of go-go music. So and seeing, going to go-go's and seeing them playing on the congos and the drums, I've always wanted to be able to do that.
And why haven't you gotten to it?
I don't say obviously, but I mean, I could give the excuse of time, family, my ambitions of, you know, working, getting money, all that good stuff. Then I mean, other part is space. I've been living in apartments in DC. We just moved into a townhouse, but no space for it. But I've told myself when we move into our big house, quote unquote, I'm definitely going to get my drum set. But yeah,
Gotcha. Can you think of any advice that you would give your younger self?
man, patience, man, patience, man. Um, well, patience is one thing. No. The advice I'll give myself is invest, man. Because what I regret the most, man, I spent too much money on trying to be cool, on Jordans, on clothes, and stuff that just didn't return any value, man. But looking back and understanding investing, how time is the biggest variable. If I took advantage of that and was invested at least in index funds at the minimum, or put away $100 a month, since I was 18 or even younger, you know, that is something. I mean, it could change the trajectory of your life once you're in your 30s and 40s if you started investing back then, or at least learning about it. So that would be the number one thing, is investing.
And what would you say is what's the best advice you've received?
The best advice I've received is you got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself. You know, there's a tendency to really, get hard on yourself when you make mistakes. Um, and you make decisions that impact other people's lives, for negatively impact other people's lives. Um, and there's a tendency to really live in regret, and which can really impact how you view yourself in the future. Um, so the best advice I've received is like, just forgive yourself. It's okay. You're not perfect. You're human. But everything's going to be okay.
So with that said, have you forgiven yourself for not investing early?
Yeah. I have. So it's twofold. I've forgiven myself, and then now um, I put that much more time into learning about it and doing it now, in order to kind of make up for lost time, if that's possible.
Uh, got it. What would you say? What's the toughest thing you've had to tackle, and what helped you get through it?
Toughest thing I've had to tackle. Oh man, the toughest thing I had to tackle was becoming a father. Um, when my wife got pregnant, so my wife got pregnant less than 6 months after we got married. Um, and I just got accepted to business school. She was starting her LSATs. So when we went to get the sonogram, we learned that we were having twins, and I was not prepared for that at all. Financially, mentally, emotionally, I mean, nothing. So having to now go from being newlyweds and just having to worry about one person it essentially doubled in a way to where I had to be responsible for two individuals. I have a boy and a girl who are now 6 going on 7 in November. But um, transitioning from really just becoming, leaving being a bachelor into, now being married to now being a father, that was tough. I was working 2, 3 jobs, sleepless nights, going to school. That was tough.
So what helped you get through it?
My faith, my faith. You know, I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, you're taught to uh, trust God. You know, and I believe in doing that and consistently doing that, no matter how dark or how bad things got, there was always this peace in me where I was like, despite all that's going on, God is going to see us through. So no matter how low I got, just having that understanding and remembering that was what got me through.
What would you say makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Huh? Just I gotta pick one.
No, well, do your top three. Top three things that makes you happy.
Okay. Um, Being a father is very, very, very rewarding, very fulfilling. Um, basketball makes me happy. Talking about it, watching it. Like I know you're watching The Last Dance. Oh my God, man, I'm I'm in heaven. Um, the third thing, the third thing that makes me happy is new experiences. If it's meeting a new person, going to a new country, learning something new about investing or various topics. I thoroughly enjoy that.
Okay. If you won the lottery tomorrow, what will you do?
Woo, if I won the lottery tomorrow,
Yeah.
I mean, I put in the bank, invest it. I wouldn't go. I won't go on a shopping spree yet. I, I put it away, invested in plan.
Okay, so I'm talking about the big lottery. I'm talking about 500 to 700 million. Not you know, not a couple of bills. I'm talking about
Um. So, what is the first thing I would do?
no. Just what would you do? What would you do if you won the lottery? If you won 5 or 700 million.
I mean, it's several things. Make sure my mom is set, paid that. Um, probably upgrade the crib, the whip, shopping spree. I'm gonna be very vain about it. I'm gonna just shop, just get it. I'm gonna go in.
Okay, what exactly are you getting when you're shopping? Like, what are you getting?
I mean, there's I'm into fashion. I'm into pop culture. All that stuff, man. And I mean, I can't lie. I mean, I'm into that. I mean, you see my hat, see my hoodie. That's me. So there are a lot of things out there, off whites, you name it, Yeezys. I think I indulge in that just a little bit, just to kind of scratch that itch.
Gotcha. With 5 or 700, you could buy a couple of those companies if you're also interested in investing.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure I would have eventually thought about that, but not the first thing.
It takes time. It's a practice.
Yeah, for sure,
It's a
man.
practice. Like that. All right. Um, is there anything you haven't done or accomplished yet that you would regret if you never got to do or accomplish?
Hmm. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is travel, man. Like I want to go to Japan. I want to go back to Thailand. I want to go travel Europe. I want to go to the Caribbean. Like like kind of going back to the answer about new experiences, like that's something I would feel at a loss if I'm not able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your top 5 places to visit? I know you said Japan. What are
Yeah. Top 5. Japan is number 1. Number 2. So I would probably do it more territorial. I haven't initially nailed down all the countries per se. For example, after Japan, I want to go through Africa, South Africa, Ghana, Egypt, then, South America, Brazil. And then I know there's some very great islands in like Tanzania, Indonesia. Those are the ones that come to mind. I don't know if those are 5 yet, but.
yeah. Nice. When I say forgiveness, what comes to mind?
When you say forgiveness, what comes to mind? Humility. I think you have to humble yourself enough to be able to forgive yourself. Yeah, I don't know why that came to mind. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Got it. And for the last question, how do you define success?
Success is being able to consistently facilitate your happiness. That is success to me.
Nice. Well, that's a great way to end. We connected, we politic, and we'll do this again in the near future.
Yes, sir. Looking forward, man. Send me the footage, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah.